What is up everyone, Mitch back here and welcome back to the Aviator channel. Today we're staring at the beautiful Majestic Q400 on the ground at Toronto Pearson, and we're going to be taking this incredible airplane down to a not so typical JFK. Now when I say not so typical, this airplane does a regular service out of Toronto to St. John's, Moncton, Quebec City, I believe there's one more, Fredericton, and that's about it for the Q400. But there's that odd time where they send a CRJ down to JFK where they sub it out with a Q400. I think it's about twice a week they do it. So this is a somewhat regular flight, but it just alternates between a CRJ 705, CRJ 200, and a Q400. It just all depends on what day it is. So the day that I'm shooting this on happens to be the day where they're taking a Q400 down to JFK. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show off Drewinski JFK and just kind of give everyone an alternate idea of the sceneries that are offered there instead of FS Dream Team. So I have Drewinski, Drewinski JFK. I have the surrounding airports as well, but I have LaGuardia, Newark, as well as like Teterboro and stuff turned off just to save on a bit of frame while we're going into the New York area. I don't have City installed, like the New York City itself. But I think nevertheless to say, we're just worried about JFK and how incredible JFK is going to be. So the flight today is about an hour and 10 minutes. We're doing the Maven 1 departure, going off 24 right, left turnout over the lake, and interesting route today that takes us into JFK. We're planning to land runway 31 right and parking terminal 7. So sit back, relax, and welcome aboard Jazz, it helps if I remember the call sign, Jazz 8906. Okay, so we're in the flight deck. We've only powered the airplane up, and we're interesting spot today at Pearson. Usually you'd think we'd go out of the 100 gate areas, which is just on the other side here, but we're actually on the far side in the international terminal because this is a international flight. It's supposed to go out of gate 191, but I thought it'd be interesting because I saw a picture in real life of the Q400 parked in gate 256. And I thought it'd be interesting because it actually connects right over here, and the passengers just walk down and come out here. So I thought it would be interesting to go out of this gate to make it interesting. I don't know if they use it in real life, but if they do, that's cool. If not, somebody please let me know. But we're going to get this airplane set and ready to go to JFK, but first we're going to get some ground service. I haven't put any ground service in yet. But today we're going off of Toronto, and I should also state that I've already loaded the airplane up with the required passengers and fuel, so we are all set there. Just to save a bit of time, BHPAH, or no, BMPAH, there we go. And that looks good. 63 miles, good. Direct Avon. AEVON. The X-Stol. This is where it gets interesting right about this point. Direct to DNY. And then the PWL2 arrival. So that's interesting because usually they come in from the northwest, but we're actually going more towards Boston and then coming in from the northeast. It's really weird today. But totally fine with me. It'll change the scenery. So it's departure off runway 24 right, and it's the Maven 1 departure, Maven 115, and 24 right. Menu arrive, and it's gonna be runway 31 right on the PWL2 from DNY. The approach is gonna be the ILS 31 right. And yeah, we'll put that in there just for extended center line. And get rid of all the discons. Yeah, we'll keep that no link there. PWL, we don't need it in there twice. Good, 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 and good. Okay. And then this is where we go to here. We put our zero fuel weight, which our zero fuel weight today is 57231. 57231. Our alternate fuel today is Boston, and it's 1670 to Boston. We got no hold fuel. We got an extra 465, which gives us a fuel on board of 3605 a side. 64441. I got over here 64438. So we're 4 pounds off. So I'm happy with that number right there. And that's because it's just the rounding with the fuel here. Because our takeoff fuel is supposed to be takeoff fuel mass is 7207. And so yeah, 3 pounds off. So just a little bit of a leeway there, but it ain't the end of the world, I can tell you that for sure. So that's all good, that's all good. I'm not gonna worry about any of the other information we need to worry about. So we'll get the local altimeter, crossfeed everything that we need to crossfeed, and do our calculations for performance. Okay, so we're going off Toronto's 24 right. So I'm throwing this into Arusim on the other side, on my other screen here. I'm pretty sure most of you guys that use it understand how it works. Very, very simple. 3026 is the altimeter, and our takeoff weight, which we're going to use by the FMS, and what we also have on our final load, but it's 64441. 64441. It's going to be a flaps 5 as always, and it's going to be reduced, but it's just going to give us the speed that we want for now. So it's speed 134, 134, 135, 135, and then a first speed of 145, and well, that was our flap traction, or V fry, and then our V climb of 157. Altimeter set, MDA is going to be 1580. See, this really sucks having to do this at higher elevations. So I usually avoid that, but we're not that bad here in Toronto. 3,000 feet, and we're going to be yaw damp on, go around mode selected, altitude selected. Heading is going to be 057, I believe. We'll double check that here in a second. We're going to be FMS1 on that side, FMS2 on the other side. Go ahead and cross-fill all that information now. Excuse me. Cut that. Okay, so now we can brief the departure. So the departure today is the Maven 1 departure off runway 24 right. The difference between this departure and typical departure at Toronto is this is a prop departure. So that leads us to having to do a little bit of explanation here. So, holy shit. So the departure off 24 right is less otherwise assigned by ATC. Climb heading 237 to 1,000 feet. Climbing left turn to heading 235. Or as assigned, expect radar vectors to Maven, and then proceed by depicted route. Unless otherwise assigned by ATC, maintain 3,000 feet. Aircraft assigned to turn on takeoff, commence to turn at 1,100 feet. So we're going to commence that turn at 1,100 feet, just like we did in a previous video, just to make it easy. So it's 235. 235. There we go. And for some reason I'm not seeing Maven in there. Why is it not drawing Maven? We're gonna manually put Maven in there. It didn't even draw the whole departure. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Departure 24 right. Did I accidentally not click it in the right way? Maven 15. 24 right. Okay, there we go. Now it's in there. That was weird. But I didn't draw it the first time. Go ahead and cross-fill the flight plan on the other side there. See, that's why I always double check your work. There we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we brief the departure. We know what we're doing. It's going to be derated departure of 85 on the percentage, torque on the percentage. Climb out, left turn immediately, and We'll get this airplane down to JFK. Gonna lose a little bit of right trim. Stand by on that. Set this up. And we will give GSX a call and mosey on out of here. So after realizing we didn't have to give GSX a call, it is going to be complaining at us though, but we don't need to push back today. So we're going to start here at the gate and we'll spin around by the line here and we'll just cancel GSX. Actually, we'll cancel GSX at this point. So we'll just hit reset position. And we'll go ahead and just start up, go up by the line here. Oops. And go straight out, exit here, go down, and 24 right's right there. So it makes it very convenient for us today where we're going. Okay, so let's give GSX a call, or let's get our engine started, I should say. Okay, so go to the overhead here. Nav light was not turned on during my startups, and that was my bad. I take full responsibility for that. Good, good, good. I was not on the overhead. I just noticed that. Okay, good to go. Beacon lights on. Good to start. Introduce fuel. We'll actually watch this. This is actually pretty interesting. And there's light off. Hydraulic 2's coming up. Everything's spinning where it's supposed to be spinning. She ain't liking it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our airline, we would like to welcome you on board of our Dash.
See, we'll start on 2, starting number 1.
Approximately 2 hours.
And there's the draw.
Please fasten your seatbelts and refrain from smoking. If you want to use any electronic equipment,
start
we
feather.
would kindly ask you to contact us first. For takeoff and landing,
And then when we start getting DC power back, it starts filling it back up. Hydraulic 1's coming up.
The entire flight. We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
Good, good, good. And the hydraulic 3 test. And that's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention?
Everything's coming up.
National safety regulations.
Visual steering can go on.
Aircraft has 6
Clean the overhead up here. That can go off. That can go off. Good, good, good. We'll turn these on now. Scan across. Everything's looking good. Taxi light on. Nose wheel steering is coming on and already has been on. Flaps are set to 5, indicating 5. Okay, and we're good to go out. So off to 2-4 right we go. And good, left is clear, right is clear. We're not going to clip any buildings here, we should be good. Just watch that left wing. Good. Taxi straight out. Lane 10 Bravo. Exit over here and head to 2-4 right, which isn't that far of a taxi. Okay, let's check everything. Let's do the reduce now. $85, there we go. And left here. Good. Everything's set and where it needs to be. And everything's in the green. Lights are off except for those ones. And we'll come up 24 right full length and depart. Magnetic compass agrees with everything down here, which is good. And we are set. Oh, let's open those ones up. Do our last cockpit scan here. Goody, goody, goody. I'm ready to go. Hopefully you guys are ready to go. And we'll motor on out of the city of business. I guess we'll be passing pretty close to the island airport today. Take the inner lane here. Okay, those can go to flight. Those can go down. Flight control check. This is why I wish it was separate, but I guess you can set it up. Okay, on the 2-4 right we go. We'll confirm everything where it needs to be. I guess we can light it up like a Christmas tree. There we go. Flight attendants, take your seats. Okay, hopefully everyone's set. I know I am. Just a quick final check there. Here we go. Spoilers down. Auto feather armed. Power is set. Speed's building. Through 80 knots. V1, rotate, gradual back pressure, let the airplane climb like it wants to climb. Pause ready to climb, gear up. Step on the bar. Now 1100 feet, we'll commence a left-hand turn. There's 1100 feet, here comes that left-hand turn direct Maven. Okay, autopilot on, IAS, flaps up, climb power to 850. And we'll speed up now, IAS 200. And we'll clean this up, direct to Maven. And I guess we can climb a little higher now. Flight level 250. There we go. There's downtown. I guess we won't really be going near downtown, but close enough. And we're just gonna warm the system up here just in case this is some icing in the clouds. A little bit more right rudder trim here. Okay, clean the airplane up. Good. Left-hand turn. There's downtown. And I'm back in LNAV. Put the alt cell on. See, one thing, if you ever go into Toronto in the flight sim, FSX, P3D, this boat is always here. Always here. It's one thing I've noticed since day one since I started flight simming. That boat is always there. It's like part of the auto gen. It's weird. Just under this right now. Don't check. Our actual navigation is 0.14, RNP is 1.0, so we're looking good there. So we should make it to JFK in one piece and not end up in Newark. Well, I guess Newark's not really that far away. Let's say Washington. Turn the weather radar on now. See if we got any significant weather to worry about. I doubt we do, but it's always good to double check. Doesn't look like we'll have too much ahead. And it's in test mode for some reason. There we go. Now it's in on mode. Yeah, it looks like a bit ahead. Nothing up near Avon, but I'm not worried about it. Okay, so that concludes the departure portion. Everyone wave to downtown Toronto. And all the activists on the island airport that don't want it to be expanded and don't realize that the runway would go from there to there and from there to there and totally will not affect anything, but whatever. It's up to them to want to be activists. But until the top of descent, enjoy a little bit of in-flight portion, and I will see you guys at top of descent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the cockpit, and hope you enjoyed the flight so far. We are just approaching top of descent, and we're just going to brief the arrival into JFK. So we're on the Pauline 2 arrival, which pretty much fly over PWL via PWL radio 172 to Loves, then via BDR radio 336 to BDR, then BDR radio 145 to Bellet, then via Delta Papa Kilo radio 053 to Delta Papa Kilo. So we'll pretty much follow this. Highest sector is 2,800 feet to the northeast, it looks like. Northwest, sorry. And it says it's acceptable to prop and turboprop aircraft operating 250 knots or less, which we will be. So we have to cross Peter at 17,000, at or below 17,000. Then we'll probably level off for a bit, and then we're going to cross Loves at or above 6,000. Then it'll put us on the ILS 3,000 feet, intercept with an MDA of 213, I believe. I rounded the MDA up to 220. It's always air on the side of caution, right? So that's what we're doing, is airing on the side of caution. We'll go down, we'll land. I'm going to calculate the performance now, and I will see you guys probably somewhere over Loves. Okay, so we just passed the Loves intersection, and we're getting to the point where we're going to join into kind of our final here. So I'll show you what we're going to do. So we're going to go up to BDR, Bellet, across into JFK, go right onto the base, and onto the final. So that's the plan. The plan, quote unquote. So as we get close to Bradley here, our plan is, when we get into JFK, is to exit roughly at Whiskey, if not Victor. But Whiskey is going to be the ideal plan, because Whiskey can take us right into Victor Alpha or Victor Victor, which will allow us to enter straight into the ramp there, which would be the ideal point for the arrival into JFK on 31 right. But sometimes we can't have what we always want, so we'll see what we can do. If we got to squeeze off at Delta, we'll squeeze off at Delta, but I'm going to try to roll it all the way down to Whiskey. But this is the long portion, is because we're low now. We're trying to maintain as much forward momentum as possible. But we also got to squeeze up to Bradley here, and then the Bellet, and then straight across. So I got quite a ways to go to JFK, and we're already low as is. We're actually in Boston airspace right now. Let's see, can we see the Bradley airport yet? I think that's BDR is Bradley, right? Prop. Nice fall colors. I guess it is officially fall now. I think that's the airport right there. I don't know. Not worried about it. I'll tell you that for sure. No, I could do the scumbag thing and just cut off the arrival here and go something like that heading, but JFK would be pretty busy in real life, so we're going to stay on the arrival and do what we need to do as a pilot. Just want the cockpit here. And we're getting the speed that we want for the landing, which is good. I planned a landing weight at 61,000 pounds. So we have speeds for that, which are 125 and 153. Like I said, the MDA hasn't changed much. It's only 7 feet higher than the MDA. Oh, you wanna know what? We gotta set our course. I just reminded myself. So you hold down format, and the course is on the ILS. It's pretty close to runway heading. ILS 31, right? It is 315, yeah. So 315 runway. 315. And come over to this side, and it's just your format for nav 2. Yeah, there we go, 315. And 53. There we go. Everything's set there, and realistically speaking, we can actually switch his over to nav 2 now, so we can get positive identification on the ILS once it comes into range. I gotta say, it's a nice day to fly into New York right now. It could be crappy. I think the ceiling's actually quite high. Yeah, broken 3,800 feet. Okay, I wouldn't say that's high, but it's decent. 3,800 feet, broken at 15,000, 15,000, and then there's a few at 2,800 as well. The METAR, it's 1651, 070 at 11 knots. Visibility 10, few 2,800, broken 3,800, broken 15,000. Temperature 21, 2.13, altimeter 3028, remarks. Automated. Seaval pressure 1025.4. Okay, so we're going at the point where we're going to start getting down to 3,000 feet for the intercept. We're getting relatively close to the field now. 30 miles back. So we'll start a nice slow descent down to 3,000 feet. And that should get us where we want to be. So it's going to be reduced landing. Flaps 15, and we will, like I said, try to plan to exit past Delta. That's the key point. I'm trying to hover right around PNE right now. Not into the clouds we go. We might pick up some icing here, hopefully not. Look at the outside of the airplane, see what it's doing. She's looking good, I'll tell you that for sure. She's looking good. Tube, it's a tube. And it doesn't look like we're picking up icing, which is good. So the idea is we'll shoot an approach. If we have to go miss, we'll come around for another approach. If we have to go miss again, we're heading up to Boston. Okay, about 18 miles from the intercept. Looking good on everything here, which is perfect. On that just a bit. Let's start getting this set up. Good. And good. Nope, don't start a turn, don't start a turn. That's the last thing I want you to do. Right there. 330. Okay, seatbelt signs on, everything's good on the overhead. We're actually going to min on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, just part of
No
our
icing detected.
We would
That's
kindly ask
always
you to
good.
fasten your seatbelts again and turn off all your
Any
electronic
altimeter
equipment.
updates? Nope, still 3028. I wonder if the weather's like this in JFK in real life right now. Has me intrigued. We're over FRG right now, I can tell you that. And the wind's coming right off the nose. Or should be, at least. And just send down a little bit more here. 1,000 to go. Out Sal is selected. Scale down for the approach. miles. I wonder how those people get to work. They swim across. Judging by kind of all the canals here, probably boating. I wonder how that works. That's interesting. First Altstar. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to nav source on nav 1 on my side, which we do have the ILS, which is good. And we'll scale down to range 5 now. Scale down to 10 on his. He's in terrain, which should just be showing water. That's what we want. And we got out. And we'll start bleeding off a bit of speed, but not too much. And we'll get ready for the intercept here in a moment. Okay, swing it around. And we'll arm the approach. Localizer glide slope armed. As long as we get local star, we should be able to get glide slope. And there's local star, glide slope. Hops 5. The airport is in sight.
2500.
Gear down. Reduced NP. Flaps 15. So we got 13 on the tail, not that big of a deal. Lights are good. Lights are on there, and we turn the logo light on, I guess. And it's chasing the glide slope. Make sure just float idle. Don't want to be setting anything off. She should start slowing down a bit more here. There we go, it's starting to chase the glide slope now. That's what we want. Start pitching up a bit more. Let's give a bit of power in so it's there. Dual FD.
1,000.
And we're in terrain now. Autopilot's coming off. Autopilot disconnect, dual off.
Light slow. Light slow.
Speed's good.
Light slow.
Power's good.
Light slow.
I don't know why it's pitching at me.
Light slow.
We're at minimums. There we go.
100. 50. 40.
Oops.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, I'm trying to play grease it with it. I think I held it off a little too long there. Not that bad though. We're gonna go blowing by whiskey here. That's not too bad. Here's Victor. I'm happy with that.
Welcome to our final destination. Please remain seated with the seatbelts securely fastened until the aircraft has reached its parking position and the seatbelt sign has been switched on. Please continue to observe the non-smoking sign. On behalf of our
And we're parking
airline,
Terminal
we'd like to
7.
advise you now.
So this is where we have to go figure this out. Which one is Terminal 7?
Thank you.
Default jetways. Tisk tisk. Guess I can see why I have people like FS Dream Team a little bit more. I have no problem with this. I'm pulling the 2 here. I guess this would be 3. I have no idea. We'll figure this out once we pull in. It's like a heavy gate almost, it looks like. Weird. It's very interesting, I'll tell you that, to the least. I have no idea what line to park on, so I'm just gonna pick one. That seems good enough. Now what parking are we in? Request deboarding. G2. Okay, I know for future reference. Yeah, let's have United do it. And bring it back to start feather. There we go. And get the GPU to come in. And GPU's connected. Kill the rest of it. Go into ground power. And even though we should wait till the engine stop, we'll stop pretty quickly. Open these up. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JFK. So I have a question for you guys. for any future videos out of JFK. Would you rather Jawinski or would you rather FS Dream Team? Please let me know in the comment section below. But thank you guys for joining me on this quick flight from Toronto to JFK. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like. If you're someone new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe as well. I post pretty much weekly on here. So until next time, blue skies, white clouds. I will see you guys later.